Today, we are traveling about 7 centuries back in time to the very birthplace of the Siamese kingdom.
And then we're going to pull all that history right into the modern world.
Exactly. We're going to see how an ancient culture can become a sustainable, creative economy. We are deep diving into Sukhothai, Thailand.
Sukhothai. The name itself means the dawn of happiness. I mean, what a beautiful name.
It really is.
And it belongs to the first capital of the Siamese kingdom, established all the way back in 1238. It reigned for about 200 really monumental years.
So for you, the listener, our mission today is a bit complex. We aren't just looking at temples and ruins.
No, not at all. We are trying to uncover the secret of how this UNESCO World Heritage Site sustains its 700-year-old legacy, both economically and culturally.
And to do that, we've stacked our sources. We have practical travel guides, some historical context pieces, and I think most critically, this fascinating green destination's good practice story.
That story is key. It focuses specifically on one incredible tradition.
Right. Because this isn't just about, massive stone ruins. It's a brilliant case study in cultural adaptation. And it all centers on the resilience of Sukhothai ceramics.
To really appreciate this modern revival story, we have to start at the beginning. You have to understand Sukhothai's immense historical gravity.
It's considered the cradle of Thai civilization, isn't it?
Undeniably. I mean, this is the place where classical Thai architecture was born. And even more profoundly, the Thai alphabet itself originated here. It's traditionally credited to King Ramkhamhaeng the Great.
Wow.
So the core of this history, the Sukhothai Historical Park, or Muang Khao Sukhothai, it received its well-deserved UNESCO World Heritage status back in 1991.
And central to that living history, not just the physical ruins, is this incredible heritage of Sukhothai pottery.
Yes.
Think of this as like the original Thai luxury export. It's an intergenerational inheritance that combines science and art, and it was an economic powerhouse exported from the Phra Rong dynasty era. We're talking 7 centuries ago.
This pottery was so essential, so successful for so long. But despite that deep history, Sukhothai faced 2 devastating, really existential crises, separated by centuries.
Okay, let's unpack those. What was the first threat?
The first was the antiquity crisis. This hit really hard about a century ago. The global demand for antiques and historical artifacts it exploded.
That led to looting.
Massive, consistent, illicit excavation and smuggling. These ancient Sukhothai wares were being dug up everywhere, but especially around the ancient cross-draft kiln areas.
Okay, hold on. A cross-draft kiln or thuriang? Is that just a place or is it a specific firing technique?
It's a bit of both, but mostly the technique. Thuriang refers to the historical large-scale ceramic kilns in the Sukhothai area. They're called cross-draft because of how the fires is built at one end and the heat is drawn across the wares before it vents out.
Oh, I see.
This allowed for incredibly high, consistent temperatures. It's the place where those iconic exported pieces were fired. So when the market for them exploded, these kiln sites became ground zero for looting.
That sounds like a physical destruction of the site, on top of losing irreplaceable artifacts.
So what was the second crisis?
That came much later, and it was a crisis of relevance. Once modern reproduction started being made legally, they failed to capture the interests of a diverse tourism base.
Why was that?
The wares were seen as products only for serious high-end collectors, not for daily use, not as a practical souvenir. And crucially, the local youth, the very inheritors of this tradition, they started losing appreciation for it. They saw it as a dusty relic.
So you have a 700-year-old tradition facing both theft and, irrelevance. How do you pull it back from the brink?
It required a massive, multi-pronged approach. It started logically with preservation and legal efforts. The government stepped in. The Fine Arts Department implemented a system that actually encouraged people to legally register and return antiques without facing charges.
And that helped stop the illicit trade. It did. It stemmed the flow. But the legal framework was just one part. The real miracle was the grassroots, the community response. And here we need to talk about one person, Mr. Samdet Phongphen.
What did he do?
He was driven by this deep personal concern that his homeland's heritage was literally dying out. So he undertook this incredible self-directed study of the ancient process, the precise claying techniques, the specific glazing recipes, the firing, the shaping. He basically brought a lost art back to life.
That's fascinating, a self-taught master. But I have to ask, in a tradition that's so dependent on intergenerational inheritance, was his self-study accepted by local traditionalists? Did he face any resistance?
That's a sharp question. And initially there's always skepticism when tradition is revived outside that strict master-apprentice lineage. But Mr. Frongfein didn't just reproduce the pieces, he institutionalized the knowledge. He established an all-in-one learning center specifically designed to transfer this handcraftsmanship knowledge to new generations of art students. By formalizing it, by focusing on education, he turned his personal pursuit into a legitimate community-wide resource.
That's a huge pivot.
Yeah.
And I imagine that learning center allowed for the critical adaptation to take place, moving beyond that collection-only perception.
Exactly.
They had to make it cool and useful again.
They did. They took the traditional Sankalok black brushstrokes and their signature patterns, which often depict local life, like specific fish and local flora, and they diversified their application.
They made the art consumable, functional.
Precisely. Now you see those ancient patterns on everyday items and souvenirs. We're talking about high-quality t-shirts, water glasses, even silver jewelry. This is ancient art being worn and used daily. It's blending 7 centuries of history with modern life.
But they didn't just stop at products. They innovated the tourist experience.
Right. They realized that just selling something wasn't enough. They created interactive, creative tourism models. Craftsmen were trained to initiate hands-on DIY activities.
So you, as a tourist, can sculpt or paint your own pottery.
Right there in the workshops. And that community ownership is key. They banded together to organize the Sankalok Street of Art, where local manufacturers decorated a massive 1.5-kilometer wall using broken pieces of Sankalok.
A brilliant example of recycling and artistic display. It literally turns waste into public art.
It's amazing.
And this brings us to the core concept of sustainability. The source material emphasizes that this success is rooted in the Thai economic philosophy of sufficiency. Now, we hear that term a lot, but for the listener who hasn't encountered it, what does sufficiency economy mean in this context?
It's absolutely crucial here. The sufficiency economy philosophy, developed by the late King Bhumibol Adulyadej, isn't about isolation or poverty. It's about moderation, prudence, and built-in resilience.
Okay, so for the Sankalok industry,
It means prioritizing happiness, steady, gradual growth, and local benefit over the risks of mass, unsustainable reproduction for external markets. It champions self-reliance and community benefit.
so it's intentionally slower. It ensures quality of life and preserves the craft's integrity rather than chasing global mass production.
Precisely. That is why it earns its OTOP Status 1 Tambon 1 product, which is a government scheme designed to support unique, local products that adhere to those ideals.
And this whole holistic success, the preservation, the community, the economic prudence, is exactly what brought global recognition.
It is. In 2019, Sukhothai was rightly selected for the UNESCO Creative City Network for Crafts and Folk Arts. It wasn't just the ruins that got the nod, it was the adaptive cultural industry surrounding them. It was Sankalok that made the difference.
Okay, if you, the listener, are now energized to experience this living history, let's get practical. Let's talk logistics. Sukhothai is about 427 kilometers north of Bangkok, so you need to dedicate time.
A day trip is genuinely not feasible.
Not at all.
Logistically, you have choices. The easiest and definitely cheapest option is the 7-hour bus ride from Bangkok's Mochit terminal. It's a long journey, but it's straightforward.